Welcome to the Full Court Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Sheldon Moore, and we're just going to do a recap of the NBA Finals Game 1. Obviously, the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks faced off tonight. And I'm just going to go to the Dallas side of things. First off, I was shocked that the Mavericks got blown out. They were down by 20 plus in basically early second. They was basically down by 30. I think that was the only time like they were down by 20 plus, like they were down. And Luca, I think Luca played decent. I think he played decent. Like he had 30 points, he had 10 rebounds, but he only had one assist. I think he started to see that the other players, obviously Derrick Jones, PJ Washington, even his running mate and Kyrie Irving, they wasn't getting it going. So he tried to take it to his own hands. And he kind of had no choice because nobody else was giving him production. And Kyrie Irving only had 12 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. He was 8 for 19 from the field. And I talked about it last week. I said Kyrie can't have these slow starts. He had 6 points in the first half. And I was like, if he starts out slow, I don't think the Mavericks can recover from that because there is a chance that the Celtics will blow the doors off and him trying to keep it going, try to get in a fast start in like the second half. I don't think that's enough because at least with the Timberwolves offense wasn't that good, but this is a different beast in the Celtics. This is a different beast. And he couldn't get it going. He only ended with 12, so he only scored 6 points in the second half. I think he either had 6 points or 8 points. Either way, he didn't really play good. PJ Washington, I would say he was probably the second best player. He got it going a little bit late. He didn't really play good in the first half. Derrick Jones Jr., he was really a non-factor. Daniel Gafford, who has been good these playoffs, he only played 14 minutes. He's really can't give you anything. Like he didn't really give you anything in this first game because he has to protect the 3. And you're guarding Porzingis and Al Horford and all of them, and they're switching. They started Jason Tatum on him. I was kind of shocked on that, but Jason Tatum did start on Daniel Gafford. Derek Lively, who you can argue probably been the third, fourth best player for the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs. He only had 18 points, but he was in foul trouble a lot. Like he only had 5 points he had 2 points, 5 rebounds. So he really wasn't a non-factor either. They did get killed on the boards. Well, they didn't get killed. 47-43. They were though at one point. The Celtics was beating about like 10 plus rebounds though. They was like that's true. And Maxi Kleber, he didn't really give you nothing. And the thing is, Maxi Kleber is supposed to be out there stretching the floor and shooting, but he's not shooting because his shoulder is still messed up. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. I think they're going to have to play probably Jaden Hardy some more minutes, maybe even put Tim Hardaway in there somewhat. But for the Mavericks to win this series, Kyrie has to play better. Luka's going to do him. Luka's going to do him because all these playoffs, it's been Luka, Kyrie, probably been probably the best duo in the playoffs, one of the best duos in the NBA. And if your running mate's not going to help you, and especially since him and Luka are the only ones that can get their own shots, you need to play better. And I think Kyrie will eventually play better. Like he's not going to end with 12 points. It's just not going to happen. That's not Kyrie. And Kyrie's going to see like, yeah, I do need to play better. I need to start off aggressive in the first half. And I think he will do that. Luka, I think he just has to get his teammates more involved. He did not do that tonight. Yes, they were missing, but he still could have got some other players involved. And they've been trying to, and a good one of the things with the Mavericks is they've been kind of getting lobs. They didn't really throw a lot of lobs against the Celtics. They just didn't do that. And I think they'll play better. I think it won't be a blowout. I think it will be closer than that in the second game. Now on to the Celtics. I'll start with Jason Tatum. He just didn't play good scoring wise. Like he just didn't play good. He had 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He went 6 for 16. Like, you have to credit the other players, and Jaylen Brown, who played really good. Porzingis, I'll get to him in a minute, but played good. Derek White, Drew Holiday, Al Horford, all of them. You have to credit him. You have to credit him for that. But Jason Tatum, you do have to play better. You have to be more efficient. Like, you are 6'8", bro. Like, you're 6'8". You can get to the rack if you want to. But you are taking threes, 3 for 7 from the three. You are taking fadeaways. Like, they can't guard you. So, like, the rebounds, I'm good with 11 rebounds. You did have 5 assists. You were a plus 19 on the court. That's the second best on the Celtics with Drew Holiday at plus 20. But scoring wise, you have to play better. But I did like him creating open shots for the Boston Celtics, and Derek White from the three, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, etc. He was doing that. But you have to, if I'm the Celtics, we need at least 25 points from you. Like, we need that. Jaylen Brown, he was the best Celtics player on the court. He showed on the offensive end, 7 for 12 from the field, 6 boards. He only had 2 assists, but you don't need him to pass. You just need him to score. He only had 22 points. Very efficient. He had a couple of blocks. I think he had 3 blocks, some steals. He was the best all-around player on the Celtics, and you got to give him credit for that. You just do. He was the best player tonight. Derek White, 15 points, hit 3 threes. That's what Derek White has been doing, facilitating, playing defense. He had a block. I think he had a block on Daniel Gaffer, I think. He has been so good. And Drew Holiday kind of was in foul trouble earlier, but you know what Drew Holiday is going to get you. He's going to give you a consistent 12 points, 12 to 15 points. He had 8 rebounds. He was good too. Al Horford, he's going to do him. He's good. He's just there to, like, a 3-and-D guy, just in the corner shooting threes. He had 2 threes. He had 10 points, 7 rebounds. I'm cool with that. But the second best player was Kristaps Porzingis. I'm not going to lie. I did not expect a 8 for 13, 20-point game from him. I just did not expect that. Like, I saw the notification saying he was starting. I was like, dang, he's going to start? But then they said he's coming off the bench. I was like, okay, I think that's much better. I think that's much better for him. Man, in that first quarter, he came out hot. He definitely came out hot. I think he had 15. I think it was either 15 or 18 points at halftime. Man, he showed everything. And this is why I was talking about last week saying Kristaps Porzingis is the key. He brings rim protection. He had 3 blocks. He had 3 blocks in the first half. Or he had 2, and then he had a block in the second half. He brings rim protection. He brings spacing. He's going to shoot a 30-foot 3. It's going to happen. Kristaps Porzingis is going to shoot a 3. And he was the difference maker. Jaylen Brown, I think, was the best player, but having Porzingis out there who looked like he didn't miss a beat, and he hasn't played in 5 weeks. And I know, and we was all worried about the calf injury. How would he move? He looked pretty good to me. I'm not gonna lie. He looked really good. He made a lot of plays on defensive end and the offensive end. And this is why the Celtics, obviously, is only game 1. And I don't overreact to game 1. This is usually the fill-out game. You want to see what mistakes and what are the good things that we did, and what can we roll that over to game 2. I think the Celtics, they're gonna play on defensive end, play straight up man. That's what they was kind of doing against Celtics. They did switch a lot. And Jason Kidd on the Mavs side, at least in this game. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in game 2. Maybe it might be different. But I feel like he kind of saw, like, maybe in this game, Daniel Gaffer and Derek Lively, they're not going to be productive. They are athletic bigs. My co-host said that. You know, they're 2 best athletic bigs probably in this series. But at least in this game, they didn't produce enough. And that's okay. It happens. Like I said, Daniel Gaffer only played 14 minutes, and Derek Lively played 18 in foul trouble. But the Celtics, they were they were in control majority of this game. I know Luka got it cooking in that third quarter. They got it down to 8, and then Jaylen Brown, he took over in that third quarter, playing defense, scoring. He took over, and it went back up to basically 20 points. The Mavericks, you can say they were due for a game like this. You can say they were due for one, like, because they were cooking, they were amazing in that Timberwolves series. But this was a game that I think that they said, oh, they have way more offensive firepower than the Timberwolves. And that's what's going to happen. And Jason Tatum, I'm not saying you don't need him to drop 25, but he can play better and he can play decent and they will still be able to win the game. I believe Jason Tatum is going to play better. I mean, they kind of blew them out, but I can honestly say no one really kind of went crazy on the Celtics. Like, Luka went crazy. He had 30 points, but I can say nobody really went crazy on the Celtics. No one went out and dropped 25. Jaylen Brown only scored 22. So no one really went crazy. And I think Joe Mazzulla, they're gonna still shoot a lot of threes. And that's another thing. That's another thing I want to say. They shot 16 3-pointer. They shot 42 and hit 16. So you shot 38% from three. And the Mavericks only shot 7. They only hit 7 threes. So the 3-point is just a big difference. Because the Celtics were hot. I think they were 11 for 27 from 3 in the first half. They were shooting threes like crazy. And they were able to get to the rack. Like, believe it or not, they were able to get to the rack. And I think they'll continue to do that. They're going to shoot their threes. They're going to play really good defense and keep switching. But Luka, I think he just has to get his teammates involved, and Kyrie just has to play better. Like, he just has to play better. If Kyrie Irving is just going to have another stinker, they probably won't win this series. I'm still staying with my pick, Celtics in 6. But these role players got to play better. PJ Washington, I think he'll play better. Derrick Jones Jr., I think he'll play better. Same with Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, and all of them. I think they'll play better. But I feel like they got to match the shooting with the Boston Celtics, though. They got to match that. And I think they will. But as of just off game 1, Boston just had so much firepower, and the Celtics just couldn't match it. And it's nothing against them. Just couldn't match the firepower. So I believe Jaylen Brown will stay the same. Very efficient. Best player in game 1. Jason Tatum, he did on the scoring side, he played bad. I'm just not gonna say like he didn't have to. No, you play bad, bro. You play bad. You 6 for 16 is just not it. If you're the best player, you can't go 6 for 16. But like I said, rebounded, he facilitated, he did all that. Porzingis go play like this. It might be cookies, but I'm not gonna say that. And Porzingis, he only played 21 minutes because Joe Mazzulla said that he wasn't gonna have a minutes, and I was like, wow, he gonna come out and play 30 plus minutes. He didn't though. He definitely had a minutes restriction. But if he plays like that in 21 minutes, just think about what he plays in a 30-minute game, 35. But you got to give the credit to the Celtics, man. They started out hot. They came out, punched the Mavericks in the mouth. And I feel like the Mavericks couldn't really recover in that first half. They were down by 19, I think. No, they was down by like 20-something. They were down by like 20-something. They did make it a game in the third quarter, but it was just too much firepower for the for the Mavericks, and Celtics just got the game 1 win. And I still got Boston in 6. I think if I had to make I will have to make a prediction. I think this game will be closer. I think it will come down to clutch time, and that's obviously when Luka and Kyrie are at their best. And I got Celtics winning game 2. I would say by like 10. I got them winning game 2. But the Mavericks will bounce back, and it will be a better game from the start. Yeah, so that's it for this recap of game one of the NBA Finals. Boston Celtics, they beat the Dallas Mavericks 107-89 in the game one. And that is it. I will come back recapping game two. So that will be about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I'm going to see you guys next time.